Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and a very, very warm welcome to the night where we celebrate excellence in what is the biggest participation stream of football within Tasmania. It is the STJFL, where nearly every weekend there's about 3,500 kiddies running around participating in what is great fun, exercise, and it's ever growing with now the introduction to the girls' competition. It is the 2016 Best and Fairest Robert Beakley Awards, and it's fantastic to see we are now at this venue. We've come a long way. We've been from very humble beginnings where we've put a few party pies on and we can hardly hear through crackling microphones and telling people to be quiet, where we now see that we've got a couple of cameras where we're going on the STJFL Facebook, courtesy of Duff TV, going to the World Wide Web. So, ladies and gentlemen, big smiles out there. You could be in the ether in London, New York, who knows, and downtown Glenorchy here at the Elwick Racecourse. I'd very much like to welcome some special guests, if I may. We have David Cox from the Hawthorn Football Club, Jared Moore from the North Melbourne Football Club, Lee Elder from AFL Tasmania, John Batchelor from the Umpiring Association. Not here yet, but I'm sure he's coming, is Paul Godomsky from our very, very dear friends at Cripps the Master Baker, Zach Reid and Jonathan Coy from North Melbourne Football Club, and of course to our life members. I can see some of our life members down here, for those people who have put in a power of work for this fine establishment that is the STJFL. I guess I can just quickly run you through the proceedings of this evening. I dare say all mobile phones, if we could please make sure they are off. And in the event that there is a fire, we have the exits directly straight out here. There is one there, and we will be guided out, so please don't panic. We'll get out nice and quickly. So the evening will go where we'll have the under-13s in the B and A running simultaneously with the presentations, followed by the Coach of the Year nominees and the eventual winner. We'll then have a presentation from School Sports Australia, followed by the Under-14 division. We will then have the Volunteer of the Year nominations and presentation. We'll then break for some supper, come back in around 8:20 for our Leadership Awards, presentations for 16B and A, very important inductees of life membership, finishing with the Under-18 Best and Fairests. I think now to get us underway, it's only right that we get the president and the visionary of the STJFL, ladies and gentlemen, a man I think who has been in this helm for about, I think at last count, about 75 years or something, Jim. Please make welcome Jim Horn, the president of the STJFL.
Yeah, look, thank you. Andrew stole all my thunder. I had all that written down. He's stolen a whole lot. So I just like to, as Andrew said, welcome everybody along tonight. Our major sponsor, Paul Godomsky from Cripps Bakery, hopefully will come in later on. His son is playing at KG5 tonight, Kingborough against Glenorchy. For those that don't know, Paul's youngest son, Lockie, finished up playing senior footy with the Tigers at age 15. He also was selected to play with the Mariners this year for, I think, 3 games he played with the Mariners, and he went away with the under-16 team that played on the Gold Coast and finished up, I think they won 2 or 3 games up there on the Gold Coast. So he's a player that's come through our ranks as a junior and is now excelling at a higher level. And as I said, Paul's pretty proud of the fact that his son has got to that level, and also he is very pleased to be a sponsor of the STJFL, which I think this is about the 7th year. It does help to be an employee of Cripps Bakery, mind you, to get that sponsorship, but hopefully he will continue with a sponsorship for a little bit longer. As Andrew said, this year 3,500 kids played in our competition this year, and this year is the first year of girls footy, and we finished up with 8 teams in junior girls, which was aged 9 to 12, and 8 teams in the youth age group, which was 13s to 16s. And to see some of those girls enjoy the sport, enjoy the game of footy, and get out there and really have a go was fantastic. I watched some of these girls, and I tell you what, to see some of the boys tackle and then go and watch the girls are so ferocious at their tackling. I think they don't worry about any other skill. It's just more about tackling and getting their opposition down to the ground. Claremont are playing Clarence at Pontville on Sunday, so in the girls. So for those that are keen to get along and have a look, go out to Pontville and watch those. Our finals, we're in our second week of our finals this week. We've got 4 grounds happening with the TCA, Pontville, Queenborough and KG5. I think there's 5 games at KG5, or 3 or 4 at Pontville. I know there's 4 at the TCA and there's 4 games down at Queenborough. So, you know, for those that have got nothing to do on Sunday, get out there and have a look at some really good footy that's being played by our kids, and just, you know, the coaching of those kids and the pleasure that they get out of the sport. So well done, and congratulations to those teams that have actually made the finals, and I shouldn't say commiserations to the teams that haven't, but you know, it's really congratulations to all the kids that actually get out there and have a go each Saturday. And as Andrew said, you know, they're getting fit and having fun. Tonight's all about our best and fairest count for all the boys from under 12s upwards. So you don't want to hear me talk for too much longer. So let's go ahead and have the count. Thank you.
Thanks very much. By the way, tonight over there making all the correct pronunciations is Johnny Gibb and David Banks, so thank you very much, fellows. We're also seeing up here, I think, a little bit about the past. What have we got here? Awarded the gold medal winner. So we're going to go through, ready for the start here of the Robert Beakley. Why it is Robert Beakley. Robert Beakley was a founding mayor of the Glauchy Football Club, a man who was involved and dedicated a great deal of his life to junior football and football moreover, and that's the reason why we are so very proud to maintain the Beakley Awards. As we now move into the count, we see some of the past winners here. I know Mitchell Hibbard's up there. He's a young man who's now listed with the North Melbourne Football Club. Huey Greenwood played the basketball for Australia, now with the Adelaide Crows. Josh Green, who is up at Brisbane. So there are many a player who have gone on, just like you guys who are in front of us have played in the AFL. So without further ado, we'll get underway with the count. Thanks very much, John.
Right, under 13A, round 1. Lauderdale versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, W. Splan, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, L. Donaghy, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, S. Coupam, Lindisfarne. Sandy Bay White versus Kingborough. 1 vote, H. Butterworth, Sandy Bay White. 2 votes, W. Code, Kingborough. 3 votes, T. Roberts, Sandy Bay White. Clarence versus Brighton. 1 vote, H. Gardner, Brighton. 2 votes, K. Macaulay, Brighton. 3 votes, D. Gardner, Brighton. North Hobart, is it Brighton too? North Hobart versus Brighton. 1 vote, Baker Smith, Brighton. 2 votes, T. Carr, North Hobart. 3 votes, D. White, North Hobart. Under 13B, Glenorchy versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, J. Savendra, Glenorchy. 2 votes, B. Golding, New Norfolk. 3 votes, K. Maynard, Glenorchy. Sandy Bay versus Claremont. 1 vote, L. Pullen, Claremont. 2 votes, J. Kennedy, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, L. Cook, Sandy Bay. Sorrell versus Huonville. 1 vote, A. Cohen, Huonville. 2 votes, J. Whitney, Sorrell. 3 votes, M. Lodge, Sorrell.
Round 2. North Hobart versus Lindisfarne. 1, Z. Holdsworth, Lindisfarne. 2, J. Coburn, North Hobart. 3, J. Gill, North Hobart. Lauderdale versus Kingborough. 1, N. Shaw, Lauderdale. 2, J. Harrison, Kingborough. 3, K. Glinda, Lauderdale. Claremont versus Sandy Bay White. 1, T. Battaglia, Sandy Bay White. 2, J. Creswell, Clarence. 3, M. Noble, Clarence. Under 13B. Glenorchy versus Sorrell. 1, T. Rhodes, Glenorchy. 2, J. Savadra, Glenorchy. 3, K. Maynard, Glenorchy. New Norfolk versus Sandy Bay. 1, J. Marsh, Sandy Bay. 2, J. Cantrell, New Norfolk. 3, B. Golding, New Norfolk. Claremont versus Huonville. 1, W. Quarrier, Huonville. 2, J. Taylor, Claremont. 3, J. Maller, Claremont.
Round 3. North Hobart versus Kingborough. 1 vote, J. Glover, Kingborough. 2 votes, R. Hopkins, North Hobart. 3 votes, T. Carr, North Hobart. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, A. Painter, Clarence. 2 votes, L. Hodoninsky, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, C. Blaschke, Clarence. Brighton versus Sandy Bay White. 1 vote, N. Holmes, Brighton. 2 votes, L. Cook, Sandy Bay White. 3 votes, D. Gardner, Brighton, and Lindisfarne had the bye. Under 13B. Huonville versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, T. Strong, Huonville. 2 votes, W. Quarrier, Huonville. 3 votes, J. Main, Huonville. Sorrell versus New Norfolk. 1 vote, B. Golding, New Norfolk. 2 votes, J. Wiggins, Sorrell. And 3 votes, C. Dargan, Sorrell. Glenorchy versus Claremont. 1 vote, J. Savendra, Glenorchy. 2 votes, J. Mackay, Glenorchy. And 3 votes, T. Stacey, Glenorchy.
Round 4. Under 13A. North Hobart versus Clarence. 1, J. Creswell, Clarence. 2, F. Lovelace, North Hobart. 3, R. Hopkins, North Hobart. Brighton versus Lauderdale. 1, M. Ford, Brighton. 2, C. Woolley, Lauderdale. 3, C. Lovell, Brighton. Lindisfarne versus Kingborough. 1, W. Splann, Lindisfarne. 2, R. Gale, Kingborough. 3, Z. Holdsworth, Lindisfarne. Bye to Sandy Bay White. Under 13B. Huonville versus Glenorchy. 1, J. Thorpe, Huonville. 2, J. Whitney, Glenorchy. 3, T. Stacey, Glenorchy. Sorrell versus Sandy Bay Blue. 1, J. Tate, Sorrell. 2, M. Lodge, Sorrell. 3, C. Dargan, Sorrell. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1, J. George, New Norfolk. 2, G. Marler, Claremont. 3, B. Golding, New Norfolk. And that concludes round 4.
Right, we move to round 5, under 13A. North Hobart versus Brighton. 1 vote, D. White, North Hobart. 2 votes, T. Carr, North Hobart. 3 votes, S. Wright, North Hobart. Sandy Bay White versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, L. Cook, Sandy Bay White. 2 votes, L. Hodoninsky, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, S. Banks Smith, Sandy Bay White. Clarence versus Lindisfarne. 1 vote, S. Banks, Clarence. 2 votes, W. Splann, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, Z. Holdsworth, Lindisfarne. Kingborough had to bye. Under 13B. New Norfolk versus Huonville. 1 vote, R. Higgins, New Norfolk. 2 votes, C. Rawnsley, Huonville. 3 votes, B. Golding, New Norfolk. Sorrel versus Claremont. 1 vote, J. Tate, Sorrel. 2 votes, B. Jones, Claremont. And 3 votes, C. Dargan, Sorrel. Glenorchy versus Sandy Bay Blue. 1 vote, H. Thorpe, Glenorchy. 2 votes, K. Maynard, Glenorchy. 3 votes, J. McKay, Glenorchy.
Round 6 under 13A. North Hobart versus Sandy Bay White. 1, J. Parsons, Sandy Bay White. 2, L. Carmichael, North Hobart. 3, T. Carr, North Hobart. Brighton versus Lindisfarne. 1, T. McGann, Lindisfarne. 2, J. Lewis, Brighton. 3, D. Gardner, Brighton. Clarence versus Kingborough. 1, G. Chaperon Tucker, Clarence. 2, S. Banks, Clarence. 3, C. Blashky, Clarence. Lauderdale Hobart was washed out. Under 13B. Glenorchy versus New Norfolk. 1, T. Stacey, Glenorchy. 2, R. Higgins, New Norfolk. 3, K. Maynard, Glenorchy. Claremont versus Sandy Bay. 1, S. Holzinger, Sandy Bay. 2, J. Duffy, Sandy Bay. 3, G. Marler, Claremont. Sorrel versus Huonville. 1, W. Quarrier, Huonville. 2, L. Butterworth, Sorrel. 3, M. Lodge, Sorrel. And that concludes round 6.
Right, we now move to round 7. North Hobart versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, K. Glenarder, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, N. Shaw, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, G. McLeod, North Hobart. Sandy Bay White versus Lindisfarne. Z. Fair, Sandy Bay White. 2 votes, H. Wright, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, W. Splann, Lindisfarne. Brighton versus Kingborough. 1 vote, D. Rose, Kingborough. 2 votes, M. Ford, Brighton. 3 votes, D. Gardner, Brighton. Clarence versus Hobart. 1 vote, M. Noble, Clarence. 2 votes, C. Blashky, Clarence. 3 votes, S. Banks, Clarence. Under 13B. New Norfolk versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, H. Silliphant, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, W. Watts, New Norfolk. 3 votes, R. Higgins, New Norfolk. Huonville versus Claremont. 1 vote, C. Rawnsley, Huonville. 2 votes, L. Pullen, Claremont. 3 votes, A. Cohen, Huonville. Glenorchy versus Sorrel. 1 vote, S. Weldon, Sorrel. 2 votes, J. Savendra, Glenorchy. And 3 votes, K. Maynard, Glenorchy. That ends round 7.
Round 8, under 13A. Lindisfarne versus Lauderdale. 1, T. Donaghy, Lindisfarne. 2, K. Glenarder, Lauderdale. 3, W. Splann, Lindisfarne. Kingborough versus Sandy Bay White. 1, H. Butterworth, Sandy Bay White. 2, J. Glover, Kingborough. 3, K. Wooters, Kingborough. North Hobart versus Hobart. 1, D. Ford, Hobart. 2, K. Ryan, North Hobart. 3, T. Carr, North Hobart. That may have been Huonville, my apologies. Brighton versus Clarence. 1, M. Ford, Brighton. 2, S. Banks, Clarence. 3, T. Barley, Brighton. Under 13B. Claremont versus Glenorchy. 1, G. Marler, Claremont. 2, K. Maynard, Glenorchy. 3, J. Saavedra, Glenorchy. New Norfolk versus Sorrel. 1, C. Dargan, Sorrel. 2, T. Scanlon, New Norfolk. 3, L. Butterworth, Sorrel. Huonville versus Sandy Bay Blue. 1, J. McQueen, Huonville. 2, C. Strong, Huonville. 3, A. Cohen, Huonville. And that concludes round 8.
Round 9. Under 13A was a washout. Under 13B, Glenorchy versus Huonville. 1 vote, B. Campbell, Glenorchy. 2 votes, A. Cohen, Huonville. 3 votes, J. Savendra, Glenorchy. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1 vote, B. Butler, New Norfolk. 2 votes, J. George, New Norfolk. 3 votes, B. Golding, New Norfolk. And Sandy Bay versus Sorrel was washed out. It's the end of round 9.
Round 10 under 13A, Kingborough versus North Hobart. 1 M. Doreen, Kingborough. 2 J. Harrison, Kingborough. 3 R. Gale, Kingborough. Brighton versus Sandy Bay White. 1 M. Lamb, Brighton. 2 S. Bank Smith, Sandy Bay White. 3 T. Barley, Brighton. Lindisfarne versus Huonville. 1 M. Maracas, Huonville. 2 H. White, Lindisfarne. 3 Z. Holdsworth, Lindisfarne. Lauderdale and Clarence had byes. Under 13B, Sorrel versus Claremont. 1 J. Whitney, Sorrel. 2 T. Devine, Sorrel. 3 J. O'Brien, Sorrel. Sandy Bay Blue versus Glenorchy. 1 B. Campbell, Glenorchy. 2 T. Rhodes, Glenorchy. 3 M. Reid, Glenorchy. Huonville versus New Norfolk. 1 H. Kennedy, New Norfolk. 2 B. Butler, New Norfolk. 3 A. Cohen, Huonville. And that concludes round 10, and we will have a break.
So we can see our leaderboard in the 13A. It's great to see a good spread. There's a couple of Clarence boys vying for votes. Lindisfarne, Splan, trying to catch up. Gardner just behind Carr. In the 13B, we can see there it's, again, very tight at the leaderboard. It's very unfortunate when you see those washouts, and that could come into play. So we'll see how that goes. Maynard on top from Glenorchy, Golding, New Norfolk. I remember last year, I think it was a clean spread by New Norfolk. We'll see how they go in this in the voting this year in 2016. Glenorchy next, so it's a very, very good spread. So I think John and David, if we can push on, given we've had that short break, we'll go on with round 11. No rest for the wicked.
Right, round 11, under 13A, North Hobart versus Clarence. 1 vote, N. Dutchmans, Clarence. 2 votes, D. White, North Hobart. 3 votes, S. Wright, North Hobart. Brighton versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, F. Kenny, Lauderdale. 2 votes, M. Williams, Brighton. 3 votes, B. Turner, Brighton. Sandy Bay versus Hobart. 1 vote, M. Maracas, Hobart. 2 votes, S. Bank Smith, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, J. Hodgman, Sandy Bay. Lindisfarne versus Kingborough. 1 vote, L. Donaghy, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, L. Rowlands, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, W. Splan, Lindisfarne. Under 13B, Sorrel versus Huonville. 1 vote, M. Lodge, Sorrel. 2 votes, R. Byrne, Sorrel. 3 votes, C. Dargan, Sorrel. New Norfolk versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, T. Scanlon, New Norfolk. 2 votes, J. Savendra, Glenorchy. 3 votes, T. Stacey, Glenorchy. And Claremont versus Sandy Bay was a washout.
Round 12, under 13A, Sandy Bay White versus Lindisfarne. 1 F. Kenny, Lindisfarne. Lauderdale, sorry. 2 J. Mab, Lauderdale. 3 N. Shaw, Lauderdale. Kingborough versus Hobart. 1 J. Harrison, Kingborough. 2 J. Glover, Kingborough. 3 K. Wooters, Kingborough. Lindisfarne versus Clarence. 1 H. Fisher, Clarence. 2 H Wright, Lindisfarne, 3 S Koopman, Lindisfarne. North Hobart and Brighton had the bye. Under 13B, New Norfolk versus Sandy Bay Blue. 1 J George, New Norfolk. 2 R Higgins, New Norfolk. 3 B Golding, New Norfolk. Glenorchy versus Sorrel. 1 C French, Sorrel. 2 T Stacey, Glenorchy. 3 T Goulet, Glenorchy. Claremont versus Huonville. 1 W Quarrier, Huonville. 2 A Cohen, Huonville. 3 G Marler, Claremont. And that concludes round 12.
Round 13, under 13A, North Hobart versus Sandy Bay White. 1 vote, S Bank Smith, Sandy Bay White. 2 votes, D White, North Hobart. 3 votes, J Cowburn, North Hobart. Lindisfarne versus Brighton. 1 vote, H Wright, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, E Wright, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, W Splann, Lindisfarne. Kingborough versus Clarence. 1 vote, C Blaschke, Clarence. 2 votes, R Tompkins, Clarence. 3 votes, S Banks, Clarence. And Lauderdale defeated Hobart on forfeit. And under 13B was a competition bye. It's the end of round 13. Round 14 was a washout. So we go to round 15. Under 13A, North Hobart versus Hobart. 1 vote, C Shelton, Hobart. 2 votes, L Carmichael, North Hobart. 3 votes, S Wright, North Hobart. Lindisfarne versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, S Tilley, Lauderdale. 2 votes, S Coopham, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, L Arnold, Lindisfarne. Sandy Bay White versus Kingborough. 1 vote, J Ross, Kingborough. 2 votes, O Kazali, Sandy Bay White. 3 votes, T Battaglia, Sandy Bay White. Brighton versus Clarence. 1 vote, J Creswell, Clarence. 2 votes, C Lovell, Brighton. 3 votes, J Lewis, Brighton. Under 13B. 1 New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1 vote, G Malla, Claremont. 2 votes, J George, New Norfolk. 3 votes, B Golding, New Norfolk. Sorrel versus Sandy Bay Blue. 1 vote, S Kate, Sorrel. 2 votes, C Dargan, Sorrel. 3 votes, L Butterworth, Sorrel. Glenorchy versus Huonville. 1 vote, J Mackay, Glenorchy. 2 votes, J Savendra, Glenorchy. 3 votes, A Cohen, Glenorchy. And that's the end of round 15.
Right, round 16, under 13 Division B, final round. New Norfolk versus Huonville. 1 Z Cantrell, New Norfolk. 2 H Kennedy, New Norfolk. 3 J George, New Norfolk. Glenorchy versus Sandy Bay Blue. 1 K Maynard, Glenorchy. 2 H Griggs, Glenorchy. 3 T Stacey, Glenorchy. Sorrel versus Claremont. 1 W Spongberg, Sorrel. 2 L Pullen, Claremont. 3 C Dargan, Sorrel. And that concludes the under 13B count for 2016.
Fantastic work. So, ladies and gentlemen, our winner, Braden Golding, with runner-up Callum Dargan. So those 2 boys can please come forward to receive their medals. And we also ask Jai Bierman to come forward to present that medal from last year, please. If those guys can come forward, thank you very much. So, Braden and Callum. Feel some deja vu with New Norfolk coming up again. Last year they had a lot of winners, so congratulations. Do you want to come up? Well done. Congratulations. Well, I can see from the smile up here you seemed absolutely thrilled. What's going through your mind? Come over here, son. Let's come and have a quick chat. What's going through your mind? Come on up.
Not much at the moment, just thrilled, I guess.
Absolutely thrilled. So, how's the season gone? I think the team's had a pretty good season.
Yeah, the boys went all right, you know. Could have had it better, but...
Oh, could have had it better. So you're in the finals at the moment.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Third.
Okay, so you're confident that you think you can take out the cup, the premiership?
Oh, I don't know, Glenorchy have a good side and we've got to get over Sorrel first.
Yeah, no, the Sorrel's got some good people. Now tell me this, just between you and I, if you can swap that, you can give that one back, or you take... Just a minute. You give that one back, or you take the cup. What would you like?
Oh, rather the cup.
Yeah, no, that's a very good answer. The team-orientated sort of thing. Ladies and gentlemen, here are our winners for the under 13B. Well done. Fantastic. So we're now coming to the last round of the 13As. Well done, Braden. Congratulations on your win. Well done, Colin. Thanks, David.
Right, round 16, under 13A. Lauderdale versus Kingborough. 1 vote, J. Glover, Kingborough. 2 votes, C. Richardson, Lauderdale. 3 votes, S. Tilley, Lauderdale. Clarence versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, H. Butterworth, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, O. Kazali, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, T. Roberts, Sandy Bay. Lindisfarne versus North Hobart. 1 vote, T. Carr, North Hobart. 2 votes, Z. Holdsworth, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, T. Donaghy, Lindisfarne. Hobart versus Brighton. 1 vote, T. Bailey, Brighton. 2 votes, N. Holmes, Brighton. And 3 votes, D. Gardner, Brighton.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner and runner-up. If they can please come forward. So our winner, Will Spland from the Lindisfarne Football Club and Darcy Gardner of the Brighton Football Club. Also, if I can please ask Alec Continenza to come forward to present these awards as last year's winner. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels really good.
Come on up.
Yeah, words.
What's that again?
Feels really good. Can barely speak.
So tell me about your year and a little bit about your football. You're under 13A, you're playing off to try and get in that premiership. You've always been at Lindisfarne?
Yeah, always been at Lindisfarne. Had a bit more of a successful year this year than last year, so I'm pretty happy.
I reckon when you got that Beakley around your neck, it's reasonably successful so far on your part. How do we think we're going to go in the finals?
I'm confident. I hope the boys can get over the line.
Do you reckon this might give them a bit of confidence to go forward?
Yeah, I don't know.
I tell you what, you've got a great complex over there. I've been over there a few times at Lindisfarne. The junior club is run very well. You have the 2 ovals. Is there anyone in particular you would like to thank, or someone special that's probably helped you?
Well, I'd like to thank all my teammates and coaches for helping me out during the year, and yeah, that's about it.
What about dear old mum and dad? Did they run you around or do any of that?
Yeah, they always run me around to my sports and stuff, so I'd like to thank them.
Very well done. Ladies and gentlemen, here are our winners for the under 13A. Congratulations. Well done, Will. If you just go over there, Will, to get the photo taken, please. While the boys are getting their photo, this is absolutely fantastic, something they'll very much remember. We're now going to move on to the part for our coach nominations of the year. Of course, Coach of the Year we perceive is very, very important. These are the guys or girls who mentor the players as they come through. To present the award for the coach, we're very fortunate to have Jared Moore here from the North Melbourne Football Club. Jared started off with the Stingrays in the TAC Cup. He was in 2004, I think it was, playing for them. He was best on ground in the grand final. He was taken at 31 in the draft. That really catapulted him up, that best on ground in the grand final. He then went to the Sydney Swans, where he played 68 games for that club. He was elevated into the leadership group. He was 177 centimetres nuggety and always claimed he was tough at the ball. In 2012, he was delisted, as some players were, so he took his trade to the Werribee Tigers. From there, he was best and fairest for the next 2 years. I tell you what, I'm pumping you up. I'm very pumping you up. I'll give you the tip. 2 years best and fairest. I think North Melbourne saw something in him and they got him across to be the development coach. From there, he's now is the midfield and stoppage coach. Can you please make him welcome to the stage, please? Jared Moore. Welcome aboard, and moreover to North Melbourne. You're looking forward to the relationship that we have with North Melbourne and Tasmania.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great for years, but to sign on for another 5 years is really great for the club, and to have 7,000 members as well down here is great for the relationship and great for North Melbourne.
So tell us a little bit about how you see, there's 3,500 people you're going to be directly talking to who play this great game. Do you see this as the breeding ground of the next people for the Kangaroos to come through, as more over the academy?
Yeah, definitely. I think the academy has been really good for us, and we're looking at a couple of kids already coming through the under-16s as well. So we're excited for that academy to really breed some young players. But as you see from earlier tonight, Mitch Hibbert, he's a guy that came through this system, and he's on our list now, and he's been really good for his first year at the club. So we're excited about that, and I reckon for the guys out here today, it's really exciting to see where you can end up.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Mitch, given I had a fair bit to do with in his juniors, but it just goes to show, doesn't it, if you believe, you dream, you train hard enough, it can happen. You know, you were moreover a country fella and you aspired to go forward, so what would you say to these guys? What's the best thing that they could do to try and play at the top level?
I suppose just listen to your coaches, because most of those guys have got your best interests at heart and are trying to help you develop. So listen to those guys, but have fun as well. I reckon if you're having fun and enjoying what you're doing, you're going to proceed to do better at it. I think if you're fighting against it or struggling with other things, you're not really going to get the best out of it. So enjoyment was really big for me coming through, and to play with your mates and to try and get better as a group. That was what got me going. But to see Mitch Hibbert come to the club this year, and he was basically in awe because he got to play with Boomer Harveys and Daniel Wells and those guys that he really looked up to, and to see the smile on his face when he walked in the door, it's really great to see.
Just on that, a funny story, because he was back a few months ago and he was telling me about an experience where he had to go for a signing, and so there was Boomer and all the other North Melbourne players, and he sat back because he forgot that actually he was a player that had to go forward and actually sign the autographs. He was used to being on the other side. Well, I guess it's what we should be doing is calling our coaches forward. So I believe we've got our nominees. So if all of these people can come forward. So from Brighton, Matthew Muscat, please come forward. From Central Hawks, James Manning. From Claremont, Jared Nagy. From Clarence, Scott Probert. From Hobart, Peter McLaughlin. Huonville Lions, Todd Cordwell. Kingborough Tigers, Chad Freeman. Lindisfarne, Chris Burgess. North Hobart, Ray Becker. Richmond, Mark Reed. Sandy Bay, Bain Shepherd. Sorrel, Paul Tate. And Southern Storm, Cameron Ashland. If all your coaches please can go and stand over in front of the screen as we announce the winner, please. Please get your awards first. No, I called you up quickly. You keep it moving. Is there someone here representing the Storm Football Club that can collect that award, please? Is anyone here? Yep, come forward. Thank you very much. And that'll be the full set. Can I now also have Chris Burgess, who is the current 2015 Coach of the Year, who will present the award.
I'm under instructions.
Oh, after you.
No, not the cock it up. I'll do my best. Boris Becker.
Congratulations. I dare say with a surname like Becker, was there any other possibility what the nickname was going to be?
Since about 16 years old, I think. Been called nothing else except Ray from Mum.
So tell me, coaching, done a little bit of that, so that's what, a Tuesday, Thursday, it's then picking the teams, it's doing all the mental aspects of getting the kiddies up, it's the drudgery, look out, we're giving selection panel now with the phone call coming through. Is there any rewards that you get out of it?
Probably the enjoyment of seeing the kids progress from year to year and, yeah, just the joy on their face when they do win or they do something well, more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. If I can say to you and the other coaches, I was sort of blessed to coach for about 16 years, and what happens, I think, is when those little kids from Auskick all of a sudden become kids that stand 6'4", and you become from Mr. Hopwood to coach to Hoppy or mate, I think that's what everyone is doing it for. And I know I've seen a lot of you guys in action, but moreover our winner, I'd like to congratulate all of you and especially our winner for the coaches of the STJFL. Congratulations. Good as gold. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We'll now go forward and have a section of School Sport Australia. If I can ask Jared Reid to come forward, please.
Okay, so School Sports Association, that's a national carnival that encompasses a whole range of sports. And Tassie, we represent in footy. So we joined in 2014 and we ventured off to Sydney, the first team to represent Tassie in both under 12 and under 15. And it's pleasing here to see in the night, tonight we have our two captains in the room, in Adrian Butterworth and Sam Collins, as well as Ollie Preshaw, Geordie Ed and Sam Banks. In 2015 we ventured off to Geelong. Very cold, but we still went there. What's pleasing is that the under 13 count this year managed to have 4 out of the top 5 were the state under 12 players. So as a coach, it's very pleasing to see that they've actually continued their development. This year, Maroochydore. If you haven't been to Maroochydore in a Hobart winter, I suggest you go. It is magnificent. So the under 12 program, it's the first step. It's the first step in the talent pathway and identification, and that has a flow-on effect. And luckily, we've managed to join forces with North Melbourne. The under 15s is their first chance that then they get a flow-on effect to the Mariners program and as well as the AFL TAS Academy programs, and also encompassing North Melbourne. In this year, the under 12s, we managed 3 wins. Now, the 3 wins are against Northern Territory and ACT. They're the same states that we are head per capita. So what that means is they have roughly the same amount of boys to choose from as us. So they're sort of our yardstick, and we've managed to defeat them in the 3 years. New South Wales, they've had their academy program going for nearly 4 or 5 years, and it has a flow-on effect to the Giants as well as Sydney. And this year we managed to defeat them. We also managed to defeat them in 2014. So they're our measuring stick. The state that we need to catch is Queensland. Okay, they're exceptional in the under 12 as well as the under 15 level. So they're our state that we're going to have a crack against next year. Next year, the under 15s and under 12s divide. So the under 15s will head off to Western Australia, and the under 12s will go to a even warmer climate in Northern Territory. Why they've split is because the year after, girls 12s will come in. Okay, and girls 15s will have a flow-on effect, and that's magnificent for footy. Okay, so the girls now have a pathway as well. So, as one of the coaches in the under 12, it's really pleasing when you come back and you see the boys and they're competing at club level and they rock over and they still talk to you and the parents. So it's that bond as coaches, apart from going away and playing, is fundamental because the pathway begins. So, yeah, we had a really good, successful carnival. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Jared. That's fantastic. We are competing, as you say, against those larger states, and I know I was in Queensland earlier this year, and it was amazing to see their academy and staff and effort and energy that they put into it. So for what we do with the amount of resources that we have, just, I think, overflowing just passion and living on that, we do a magnificent job. And with maybe a little bit more funds, we've got some new people in at AFL Tasmania. I know we'll be fighting for that. Who knows what can happen. So now I'll cast back over to John and David so we can move on to the under 14 count.
Round 1, under 14. Southern Storm versus Claremont. 1 vote, A. Flack, Claremont. 2 votes, J. Barrow, Claremont. 3 votes, R. Scotland, Southern Storm. Sandy Bay versus Kingborough. 1 vote, L. Andrews, Kingborough. 2 votes, S. Dixon, Kingborough. 3 votes, H. Jones, Sandy Bay. Clarence versus North Hobart. 1 vote, S. Collins, North Hobart. 2 votes, L. Borsboom, Clarence. 3 votes, A. Butterworth, Clarence. Lindisfarne versus Brighton. 1 vote, S. Michalowski, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, T. Lewis, Brighton. 3 votes, L. Brock, Lindisfarne.
Round 2, Glenorchy versus Claremont. 1 S Alveston Glenorchy, 2 J Underwood Glenorchy, 3 J Barrow Claremont. Southern Storm versus Hobart. 1 C Slater Southern Storm, 2 B Duggan Southern Storm, 3 L Ford Southern Storm. Claremont versus Sandy Bay. Clarence versus Sandy Bay. 1 T Valorine Clarence, 2 O Preshaw Clarence, 3 A Butterworth Clarence. Lindisfarne versus North Hobart. 1 S Collins North Hobart, 2 S Michalowski Lindisfarne, 3 A Mackay Lindisfarne. Brighton versus Kingborough. 1 S Dixon Kingborough, 2 T Lewis Brighton, 3 J Clark Brighton, and that concludes round 2.
Round 3, under 14s. Southern Storm versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, H James Glenorchy. 2 votes, D Lashmar Glenorchy. 3 votes, D Browning Glenorchy. Claremont versus Hobart. 1 vote, C Shelton Hobart. 2 votes, K Roberts Claremont. 3 votes, J Barrow Claremont. Lindisfarne versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, C Pickering Sandy Bay. 2 votes, K Ibbott Lindisfarne. 3 votes, S Michalowski Lindisfarne. North Hobart versus Brighton. 1 vote, J Menzies North Hobart. 2 votes, J Tremaine Brighton. 3 votes, A Norton North Hobart. Clarence versus Kingborough. 1 vote, J Bain Kingborough. 2 votes, C Goodwin Clarence. 3 votes, A Butterworth Clarence, and that concludes round 3.
Round 4, Glenorchy versus Hobart. 1 Z Wheeler Glenorchy, 2 D Browning Glenorchy, 3 H James Glenorchy. Southern Storm versus Claremont. 1 R Scotland Southern Storm, 2 J Newman Claremont, 3 B Duggan Southern Storm. Sandy Bay versus Brighton. 1 H Harris Sandy Bay, 2 A Moore Sandy Bay, 3 J Clark Brighton. North Hobart versus Kingborough. 1 S Dixon Kingborough, 2 S Collins North Hobart, 3 A Norton North Hobart. Clarence versus Lindisfarne. 1 S Michalowski Lindisfarne, 2 H Lowe Clarence, 3 A Butterworth Clarence. And that concludes round 4.
Move to round 5. Southern Storm versus Hobart. 1 vote, D Jeeves Southern Storm. 2 votes, J Jessup Hobart. 3 votes, C Walter Southern Storm. Glenorchy versus Claremont. 1 vote, J Underwood Glenorchy. 2 votes, C Lettertu Claremont. 3 votes, C Meredith Glenorchy. North Hobart versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, A Moore Sandy Bay. 2 votes, A Norton North Hobart. 3 votes, S Collins North Hobart. Lindisfarne versus Kingborough. 1 vote, N Scott Lindisfarne. 2 votes, A Bessel Kingborough. 3 votes, J Eade Lindisfarne. Brighton versus Clarence. 1 vote, A Continenza Clarence. 2 votes, O Preshaw Clarence. 3 votes, A Butterworth Clarence, and that concludes round 5.
Round 6, Sandy Bay versus Kingborough. 1 A Bessel Kingborough, 2 C Zeeman Sandy Bay, 3 H Jones Sandy Bay. North Hobart versus Clarence. 1 S Collins North Hobart, 2 H Arkley Anderson Clarence, 3 O Preshaw Clarence. Lindisfarne versus Brighton. 1 S Michalowski Lindisfarne, 2 J Clark Brighton, 3 J Eade Lindisfarne. Glenorchy versus Southern Storm. 1, C. Kemler, Glenorchy. 2, C. Hills, Glenorchy. 3, L. Ford, Southern Storm. And that concludes round 6.
Right, we move to round 7. North Hobart versus Brighton. 1 vote, S. Collins, North Hobart. 2 votes, D. Monks, Brighton. 3 votes, A. Norton, North Hobart. Clarence versus Kingborough. 1 vote, A. Continenza, Clarence. 2 votes, Z. Rulius, Kingborough. 3 votes, L. Mannix, Clarence. Lindisfarne versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, M. Sawford, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, A. Mackay, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Eade, Lindisfarne. Claremont versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, L. Ford, Southern Storm. 2 votes, A. Flack, Claremont. 3 votes, J. Barrow, Claremont. Concludes round 7.
Round 8, Lindisfarne versus Southern Storm. 1, J. Devine, Lindisfarne. 2, S. Michalowski, Lindisfarne. 3, T. Burgess, Lindisfarne. Kingborough versus Brighton. 1, L. Salzberger, Kingborough. 2, J. Clark, Brighton. 3, S. Dixon, Kingborough. Glenorchy versus North Hobart. 1, S. Collins, North Hobart. 2, B. Rogers, North Hobart. 3, A. Norton, North Hobart. Sandy Bay versus Claremont. 1, A. Moore, Sandy Bay. 2, K. Roberts, Claremont. 3, H. Jones, Sandy Bay. And that concludes round 8.
Right, we now move to round 9. North Hobart versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, S. Collins, North Hobart. 2 votes, T. Beswick, North Hobart. 3 votes, J. Barwick, North Hobart. Lindisfarne versus Claremont. 1 vote, J. Malone, Claremont. 2 votes, T. Burgess, Lindisfarne. 3 votes are Ashby, Lindisfarne. Sandy Bay versus Clarence was a washout, as was Glenorchy versus Kingborough. So that concludes round 9.
Round 10, North Hobart versus Lindisfarne. 1, J. Barwick, North Hobart. 2, A. Mackay, Lindisfarne. 3, D. White, North Hobart. Brighton versus Sandy Bay. 1, J. Clark, Brighton. 2, J. Tremaine, Brighton. 3, N. Butler, Sandy Bay. Claremont versus Clarence. 1, J. Malone, Claremont. 2, O. Preshaw, Claremont, Clarence. 3, A. Continenza, Clarence. Kingborough versus Southern Storm. 1, O. Connor, Kingborough. 2, B. Duggan, Southern Storm. 3, J. Bain, Kingborough. And that concludes round 10.
Round 11 under 14s. Glenorchy versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, D. Browning, Glenorchy. 2 votes, C. Zeeman, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, Z. Wheeler, Glenorchy. Claremont versus North Hobart. 1 vote, T. Beswick, North Hobart. 2 votes, A. Norton, North Hobart. 3 votes, S. Collins, North Hobart. Brighton versus Clarence. 1 vote, A. Butterworth, Clarence. 2 votes, J. Gridley, Clarence. 3 votes, O. Davis, Clarence. Lindisfarne versus Kingborough. 1 vote, D. Ailiff, Kingborough. 2 votes, R. Best, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Eade, Lindisfarne. Concludes round 11.
Round 12, Clarence versus Glenorchy. 1, A. Butterworth, Clarence. 2, O. Preshaw, Clarence. 3, R. Hapka, Clarence. North Hobart versus Kingborough. 1, R. Morgan, North Hobart. 2, C. Hughes, Kingborough. 3, B. Rogers, North Hobart. Claremont versus Brighton. 1, J. Tremaine, Brighton. 2, J. Barrow, Claremont. 3, T. Lewis, Brighton. Southern Storm versus Sandy Bay. 1, A. Moore, Sandy Bay. 2, N. Butler, Sandy Bay. 3, B. Gibson, Southern Storm. And that concludes round 12.
Round 13. Lindisfarne versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, B. Monks, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, S. Michalowski, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, J. Eade, Lindisfarne. Brighton versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, J. Jetson, Brighton. 2 votes, D. Browning, Glenorchy. 3 votes, T. Lewis, Brighton. Kingborough versus Claremont. 1 vote, C. Hughes, Kingborough. 2 votes, J. Bain, Kingborough. 3 votes, J. Brewer, Kingborough. Claremont versus Southern Storm. Clarence, sorry. 1 vote, G. O'Neill, Southern Storm. 2 votes, L. Borsboom, Clarence. And 3 votes, A. Butterworth, Clarence. Concludes round 13.
The big announcement, round 14 was washed out.
Right, round 15. Glenorchy versus Kingborough. 1 vote, H. James, Glenorchy. 2 votes, D. Aleph, Kingborough. 3 votes, K. Perez, Glenorchy. Clarence versus North Hobart. 1 vote, J. Barwick, North Hobart. 2 votes, A. Butterworth, Clarence. 3 votes, A. Bancal, Clarence. Lindisfarne versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, T. Barham, Lindisfarne. 2 votes, T. Burgess, Lindisfarne. 3 votes, S. Michalowski, Lindisfarne. Brighton versus Claremont. 1 vote, K. Roberts, Claremont. 2 votes, D. Monks, Brighton. 3 votes, J. Tremaine, Brighton. That concludes round 15.
Round 16 of the under-14s for 2016, the final round. Southern Storm versus Kingborough. 1, L. Salzburger, Kingborough. 2, L. Slater, Southern Storm. 3, R. Scotland, Southern Storm. Brighton versus Glenorchy. 1, J. Tremaine, Brighton. 2, J. Clark, Brighton. 3, J. Jetson, Brighton. North Hobart versus Lindisfarne. 1, J. Barwick, North Hobart. 2, A. McKay, Lindisfarne. 3, S. Collins, North Hobart. Sandy Bay versus Clarence. 1, A. Continenza, Clarence. 2, O. Preshaw, Clarence. 3, A. Butterworth, Clarence. And that concludes the under-13 mental count.
Ladies and gentlemen, our winner from the Clarence Football Club, Adrian Butterworth, and runner-up, Sam Collins from North Hobart. If those gentlemen can please come forward to receive their Beakley Awards, and I also ask Mitchell Cook to come forward and present those as last year's winner. Sam. Congratulations. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, tell me, if memory serves me correct, last year you had a bit of trouble with injury.
Yeah, I had a fair bit, yeah.
So now we're unscathed. We've had a pretty good year on the personal front, and I think the team finished on top. I think Lindisfarne second, memory serves me right.
Yep.
So What about footy for you? How do you take your footy? Where are your dreams, aspirations?
Oh, obviously AFL, but I've enjoyed it so far, and under a good coach, Jared, good parents and stuff like that, so good mates, and really enjoyed it.
And a very good club as well. I tell you what, you look resplendent there. You look the part. Very, very professional. There's no doubt about that.
I'll thank Ollie Davis for the shoes.
So you're planning on going out dancing a little bit later, or just going to get yourself tucked away ready for Sunday?
Tucked away, ready for Sunday, big game.
Now I can see over here there's a bit of a smirking about the washouts. I'm not smirking, but a bit concerned about the washouts. We have to tell these fine gentlemen from North Melbourne we don't have roofs over the STJFL grounds, unfortunately. Maybe you can help on that. But all I'd like to do now is congratulate you on your victory and all the best for the finals. Well done, Sam, to you as well. Well done. A fantastic win. So now with no injuries, we can see that the Rolls-Royce got going there for Clarence, and a very, very good victory in the Under-14 Beakley Awards. Just prior to our short break, we are now going to have the Volunteers of the Year. If I can please ask Christy Harrison, who is our current winner, to come forward, who will present it, and also Jared Moore to come back from the North Melbourne Football Club, please. So again, if I can call these people out, we can be on the ready, we can congratulate them. With the volunteers, of course, sometimes in this day and age, sometimes we move in a world where we think where we pay our fees or registration, we can sit in the car. Things don't happen without people who do the work, whether it be just putting a scorecard in, running the boundary, interchange bench, whatever it is. You certainly get a lot more fulfilment out of it. And without these people, things wouldn't happen. So can we please thank and acknowledge from Brighton, Lee Matthews. If that person isn't there, if there is someone from the particular club to come forward, please, to collect that award. Central Hawks, Georgina Rowlands. From the Claremont Footy Club, Shelley Wilmot. From Clarence, Rachel Barnes. Sorry, I was just trying to get the moving along, Tony. I will slow it down, but we would go now to the Glenorchy Football Club, Grant Brennan. Looks a little bit tricky, this next one, especially for a man on a very, very tight angle. So if I get this wrong, I apologise. That's Shaulini Ramruti, please, from the Hobart Football Club. From the Huonville Lions, Scott McQueen. Well done. Congratulations. Southern Storm, Kerry Lynn O'Neill. From Sandy Bay, Sarah Gilman. Not sure, I think we go there to Sorrel. Nikki Burke, please. From North Hobart, Ange Barrett. From Lindisfarne, Tanya Millwood. From the Lauderdale Football Club, Christy Mead. And from Kingborough, Emma Colson. So, Michelle, if you want to come forward
Very pleased to announce that the 2016 Cripps STJFL Volunteer of the Year is Shelley Wilmot from Claremont.
Congratulations. Thank you. Well done. Now, as I said, things don't get done until someone just rolls up the sleeves. I've just read a bit of the dossier of some of the things you do. You're not shy for putting in and doing a little bit of work around the Claremont Footy Club. Would that be fair to say?
Probably so. I'm a little bit addicted.
Come on. You're a bit addicted?
A little bit addicted, yes.
So some of the things that I know that you've been very proactive in getting the girls' footy up and going out at Claremont?
Yes, that's right. Very passionate about the girls.
And tell me a little about some initiatives I think you've done, like with the St Anne's Cricket Club. How's that worked out?
St Anne's didn't have a junior program, so we rallied round our troops at Claremont Juniors and put some junior teams in. So we worked with them to give the kids of the junior footy club to play cricket in summer.
Fantastic. So if there's anyone out there who maybe hasn't done any volunteering, would you urge them to just put your hand up and give a little bit of a hand just to make it easier for the people that do it, but moreover to get the rewards that I dare say that you get out of the footy?
Look, I think as a volunteer, I think the best reward is seeing the kids come off the field with smiles on their faces. You know, I think that's just, it keeps you going and want, you do more.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a very big round of applause for our Volunteers of the Year, but moreover for our winner, Shelley. Thank you. So that, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to take a supper break, where there's an opportunity to grab a drink and something to eat, and we'll be back very, very shortly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could now be seated, we'll resume the count for the under-16s. But prior to that, we'll be having our Leadership Award. This is for recognition of outstanding contribution to the growth of community football in southern Tasmania. To present that award, please make welcome the Tasmanian Operations Manager for the Hawthorn Football Club, Mr. David Cox.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me here tonight. We've been here 15 years in Tasmania. We've got a long history of playing here. We're really committed to this state, but more importantly, we're committed to grassroots football. I had a great chat just before with some of the North Melbourne guys. We're like-minded. We've got the same agenda, which is to support and grow the art of football in this state, and to grow and support and nurture the development and the talent across Tasmania, and we will join forces to do that together. So we're delighted at Hawthorn to support the Southern Tasmania Junior Football League, and of course to present this award tonight for the Leadership Award. And I'm announcing, am I who it is? I don't know. I've written on there. Can I please invite up to the stage Tony Wilmot to receive this award tonight?
Congratulations. Dare I say it seems a family affair, and it's only right if the fairer half can get an award. You just don't want to be outdone, old champion. Up you come, but from what I can see from afar, you're doing some very, very good things out at the Claremont Football Club.
Oh yes, Hoppy. Look, this award probably is a recognition of the work that Shelley's really been doing with the club. I've been merely a figurehead there. For the last 7 years, I've stood in the role of president and was lucky to be able to give it up this year and bring some new ideas in. But look, the club we haven't been that successful in the final series with the youth, but certainly I think with the build that we're continuing to experience with our under-8s and our junior program now is it's going to hold us in good stead for the future. I think with 5 under-8 sides, and I think there's about 70 Oz kickers, and then sides right through, I think we'll eventually get there.
It's interesting that you say you haven't had much success, but how do you gauge success? As a member of the STJFL board, I can only suggest to you that your club is very, very successful. Every time I see a Claremont child running around very proudly wearing their hoodie, they seem to be more than not well behaved. The numbers are growing, the smiles are getting bigger. I see things happening out in your community that aren't happening at other clubs. So I wouldn't suggest on-field that will, I dare say, take care of itself, because it seems like there's a good vibe, if you like, out there.
Oh yeah, Hoppy, look, we have really continued to try and develop the community as well. So we're trying to really make a difference out there. It's about building resilience in the community as well. So those kids that need a bit of extra support, we do give them that support in the club, and make sure that their experience is positive, both on and off the field. We are really trying to make that difference there.
Yeah, it is. I think it's fantastic that Claremont and any other footy club can make a difference. I know at our footy club we have a lot to do with mental health issues, and we can help kids. And I think if you look at, there was a study done, I believe, some years ago about employment in youth. And I know in the Burnie community it was about 34%, and at the Burnie Football Club it was 0%. And I know you can help. I know it's only a junior level, but show them pathways, not just in football, but for being good people. So Tony Wilmot and the Claremont Football Club, congratulations.
Thank you.
So as we get that photo, we'll just now hand back to John and David. So we move into the under 16B.
Right, under 16B, round 1. New Norfolk versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, B. Gordon, Southern Storm. 2 votes, B. Duncan, New Norfolk. 3 votes, C. Triffett, New Norfolk. Claremont versus Sorrel. 1 vote, T. Lovell, Sorrel. 2 votes, R. Prowse, Sorrel. 3 votes, T. Butterworth, Sorrel. Division A2, North Hobart versus Kingborough. 1 vote, S. Major, North Hobart. 2 votes, J. Clifford, North Hobart. 3 votes, T. Roberts, North Hobart. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, A. Seaborn, Clarence. 2 votes, R. Wright, Clarence. 3 votes, L. Riley, Clarence. Sandy Bay versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, T. Wright, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, W. Golding, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, T. Reeves, Sandy Bay. Concludes round 1.
Round 2. Central Hawks versus Southern Storm. 1. L. Ashland, Southern Storm. 2. B. Gordon, Southern Storm. 3. A. Rowlands, Central Hawks. Claremont versus New Norfolk. 1. C. Coleman, New Norfolk. 2. J. Bierman, New Norfolk. 3. R. Franklin, New Norfolk. Sandy Bay versus Kingborough. 1. W. Golding, Sandy Bay. 2. Z. Barwick, Kingborough. 3. W. Cottier, Sandy Bay. Clarence versus North Hobart. 1. B. Waite, North Hobart. 2. M. Paolini, North Hobart. 3. J. Harris, North Hobart. And that concludes round 2.
Round 3, Division B. Central Hawks versus Claremont. 1 vote, M. Cripps, Claremont. 2 votes, B. Isles, Central Hawks. 3 votes, A. Rowlands, Central Hawks. New Norfolk versus Sorrel. 1 vote, T. Rainbird, New Norfolk. 2 votes, Jai Bierman, New Norfolk. 3 votes, R. Franklin, New Norfolk. Division A2, Clarence versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, T. Hugo, Clarence. 2 votes, K. Sawwood, Clarence. 3 votes, J. Preshaw, Clarence. North Hobart versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, M. O'Neill, North Hobart. 2 votes, Z. Berry, North Hobart. 3 votes, B. Lewis, North Hobart. Concludes round 3.
Round 4, Sorrel versus Central Hawks. 1, J. Cartledge, Central Hawks. 2, T. Butterworth, Sorrel. 3, J. Campbell, Sorrel. Southern Storm versus Claremont. 1, J. Langford, Claremont. 2, L. Murray Bell, Southern Storm. 3, B. Gordon, Southern Storm. Lauderdale versus Sandy Bay. 1, J. Pybus, Sandy Bay. 2, G. Halliday, Sandy Bay. 3, J. Wright, Lauderdale. 1, Kingborough versus Clarence. 1, B. Murray, Kingborough. 2, R. Wright, Clarence. 3, J. Coleraine, Clarence. And that concludes round 4.
We move now to round 5, Division B. New Norfolk versus Central Hawks. 1 vote, T. Bennett, New Norfolk. 2 votes, A. Rowlands, Central Hawks. 3 votes, C. Triffett, New Norfolk. Sorrel versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, D. Gain, Southern Storm. 2 votes, B. Gordon, Southern Storm. 3 votes, S. Brown, Southern Storm. Division A2, North Hobart versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, A. Norton, North Hobart. 2 votes, B. Nelson, North Hobart. 3 votes, J. Clifford, North Hobart. Kingborough versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, M. Hayes, Kingborough. 2 votes, H. Bodner, Lauderdale. 3 votes, S. Stubbs, Kingborough. Concludes round 5.
Round 6, Southern Storm versus New Norfolk. 1, R. Franklin, New Norfolk. 2, L. Murray Bell, Southern Storm. 3, J. Zeetzen, Southern Storm. Sorrel versus Claremont. 1, T. Lovell, Sorrel. 2, J. Campbell, Sorrel. 3, T. Butterworth, Sorrel. Glenorchy versus Kingborough. 1, B. Coy, Glenorchy. 2, M. Hares, Kingborough. 3, D. Brown, Glenorchy. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1, J. Startup, Clarence. 2, J. Coleraine, Clarence. 3, J. Preshaw, Clarence. And that concludes round 6.
Right, round 7, Division B. Southern Storm versus Central Hawks. 1 vote, G. O'Neill, Southern Storm. 2 votes, J. Cartledge, Central Hawks. 3 votes, B. Gordon, Southern Storm. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1 vote, R. Franklin, New Norfolk. 2 votes, C. Triffett, New Norfolk. 3 votes, Jai Bierman, New Norfolk. Division A2, Kingborough versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, G. Halliday, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, M. Hayes, Kingborough. 3 votes, J. Bakes, Kingborough. Glenorchy versus Clarence. 1 vote, J. Tilley, Clarence. 2 votes, D. Brown, Glenorchy. 3 votes, J. Preshaw, Clarence. Concludes round 7.
Round 8, Claremont versus Central Hawks. 1, M. Cripps, Claremont. 2, A. Rowlands, Central Hawks. 3, R. Conway, Claremont. Norfolk versus Sorrel. 1, R. Franklin, New Norfolk. 2, T. Butterworth, Sorrel. 3, C. Coleman, New Norfolk. Lauderdale versus Sandy Bay. 1, L. Freeman, Lauderdale. 2, T. Hughes, Sandy Bay. 3, M. Rainbird, Lauderdale. Clarence versus Kingborough. 1, B. Murray, Kingborough. 2, R. Wright, Clarence. 3, J. Tilley, Clarence. And that concludes round 8.
Right, we now move to round 9, Division B. Sorrel versus Central Hawks. 1 vote, L Green, Central Hawks. 2 votes, R Prowse, Sorrel. 3 votes, T Butterworth, Sorrel. Southern Storm versus Claremont. 1 vote, R Conway, Claremont. 2 votes, B Dowling, Southern Storm. 3 votes, J Code, Southern Storm. Division A2, Glenorchy versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, J Curtin, Lauderdale. 2 votes, D Brown, Glenorchy. 3 votes, B McRoss, Glenorchy. Clarence versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, W Hodgman, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, B Young, Clarence. 3 votes, K Sawwood, Clarence. That concludes round 9.
Round 10, New Norfolk versus Central Hawks. 1, Z Evans Fenton, Central Hawks. 2, R Franklin, New Norfolk. 3, C Triffett, New Norfolk. Sorrel versus Southern Storm. 1, R Prowse, Sorrel. 2, B Gordon, Southern Storm. 3, G O'Neill, Southern Storm. Glenorchy versus Sandy Bay. 1, B McRoss, Glenorchy. 2, M Bowman, Glenorchy. 3, D Brown, Glenorchy. Lauderdale versus Kingborough. 1, L Burgess, Kingborough. 2, J Wright, Lauderdale. 3, K Glenada, Lauderdale. And that concludes round 10.
Right, we move to round 11, Division B. New Norfolk versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, G O'Neill, Southern Storm. 2 votes, R Franklin, New Norfolk. 3 votes, C Triffett, New Norfolk. Sorrel versus Claremont. 1 vote, S Kenner, Claremont. 2 votes, J Campbell, Sorrel. 3 votes, N Newman, Sorrel. Division A2, Glenorchy versus Kingborough. 1 vote, T Gaddy, Glenorchy. 2 votes, K Thorpe, Glenorchy. 3 votes, B Coy, Glenorchy. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, S Woodward, Lauderdale. 2 votes, C Warmbrun, Clarence. 3, J Tilley, Clarence, and that concludes round 11.
Round 12, Southern Storm versus Central Hawks. 1, J Zeetzen, Southern Storm. 2, A Rowlands, Central Hawks. 3, B Gordon, Southern Storm. New Norfolk versus Claremont. 1, S Kenner, Claremont. 2, Jake Bierman, New Norfolk. 3, R Franklin, New Norfolk. Kingborough versus Sandy Bay. 1, M Giffard, Kingborough. 2, H Island, Sandy Bay. 3, L Burgess, Kingborough. Clarence versus Glenorchy. 1, L Alexander, Clarence. 2, B Young, Clarence. 3, L Riley, Clarence. And that concludes round 12.
Right, we move to round 13, Division B. Central Hawks versus Claremont. 1, B Eon, Claremont. 2, B Main, Central Hawks. 3, A Rowlands, Central Hawks. New Norfolk versus Sorrel. 1, B Triffett, New Norfolk. 2, T Bennett, New Norfolk. 3, R Franklin, New Norfolk. Division A2, Glenorchy versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, K Thorpe, Glenorchy. 2 votes, T Gatty, Glenorchy. 3 votes, M Bowman, Glenorchy. And Clarence 2 defeated Sandy Bay on forfeit. That concludes round 13.
Round 14, Division B. Southern Storm versus Claremont. 1, B Ion, Claremont. 2, G O'Neill, Southern Storm. 3, E Reardon, Southern Storm. Central Hawks and Sorrel was a washout, and Division A2 was washed out completely. And that concluded round 14.
Right, we now move to round 15, Division B, which was their final round. New Norfolk versus Central Hawks. 1 vote, J. Cartledge, Central Hawks. 2 votes, C. Triffett, New Norfolk. 3 votes, J. Wilton, New Norfolk. Sorrel versus Southern Storm. 1 vote, E. Reardon, Southern Storm. 2 votes, T. Butterworth, Sorrel. 3 votes, B. Carter, Sorrel.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in the under 16B, our winner is Reece Franklin from the New Norfolk Football Club, runner-up Bailey Gordon from Southern Storm and Caleb Triffett from New Norfolk. Can I ask those players to come forward, and also life member Greg Dickens to come forward and present those awards, please. Bailey? Well done. Good effort. Well done. Come around, Reece. Well done, Reece. Well, congratulations, Reece. Terrific. I can see there you're well represented. How are you thinking about your teammate here? Were you hoping he was going to get a vote or hoping he might have fallen over? It must have been very competitive up at there at New Norfolk this season.
No, not really.
No, not really. So tell me as well, I think Southern Storm ended up being second on the ladder and you guys may be top, so you're playing them. How do you think you'll go when we come to finals footy? Do you think you're a chance for the flag?
Oh, I hope so, but I guess we just have to put in what we can put in.
Now, I'm interested. The last time I interviewed some New Norfolk boys last year, everyone else had aspirations to go to Hawthorn and North Melbourne and dear old Carlton, but those guys from New Norfolk, I tell you what, they loved their club and they just wanted to play at Boyer. Now, tell me something. If you had a choice to run out in the G for North Melbourne or run out on Boyer for New Norfolk, which team would you pick?
Probably New Norfolk.
Probably New Norfolk. Fantastic work, and that's why they go so well. Congratulations to our winners. Well done. Over there for a photo. So now we'll come to the concluding votes in the 16A2.
Round 15, Division A2. Glenorchy versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, B. McRoss, Glenorchy. 2 votes, B. Kelly, Glenorchy. 3 votes, M. Bowman, Glenorchy. Kingborough versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, B. Murray, Kingborough. 2 votes, S. Woodward, Lauderdale. 3 votes, A. Hild, Kingborough.
Round 16, Glenorchy versus Kingborough. 1, J. Pearson, Kingborough. 2, M. Bowman, Glenorchy. 3, T. Blackwell, Glenorchy. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1, D. Pulford, Clarence. 2, L. Alexander, Clarence. 3, J. Preshaw, Clarence. And that concludes round 16.
Round 17, our final round. Division A2, Kingborough versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, T. Wright, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, N. Smart, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, T. Reeves, Sandy Bay. Clarence versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, C. Pace, Glenorchy. 2 votes, J. Stevenson, Glenorchy. 3 votes, T. Blackwell, Glenorchy.
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. In the 16A2, our winner, Jack Preshaw from the Clarence Football Club. Joint runners-up in Dominic Brown from Glenorchy and Michael Bauman from Glenorchy. If those players can please come forward to receive their awards from, again, Life member Greg Dickens. Well done, Mike. Would you want to? Well done. Congratulations again. Well done. So how are you feeling with a couple of rounds to go and all of a sudden you heard the name? Was it getting a little bit tingly? Did you actually sort of think I had a pretty good game and you were hoping you smiled nice at the umpires in that one?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping I was on their good side, but yeah, I wasn't too sure. Yeah.
So Clarence Glenorchy, over many, many years it's been a fierce rivalry, and I noticed you two guys are probably going to, going forward, play each other in the finals. You've had some good competition against them.
Yeah, I think we play each other this week, so yeah, it will be a good contest, but yeah, hopefully it'll be a good game.
So there's a bit of lineage in your family. I think by looking in your eyes, you'd have to be relation to Simon. What's that, cousin?
Yeah, cousin.
Because I know Simon from the Lauderdale ranks. So where is it you'd like to take your football?
Probably just get as high as I can and just see where I go and see where I end up. So yeah.
So you enjoy your footy?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I love it.
That's fantastic, and why wouldn't you? You've got a great club. They really look after it. So does Glenorchy, and we look forward to many more battles, and congratulations on your award tonight.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are our winners. Well done. You just go over there and get your photos taken. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it is great pleasure that we present and bestow upon 2 gentlemen life membership of the STJFL. To present those awards, I'll ask our President, Jim Horn, to come forward. And the first recipient of life membership in 2016 is a very fine man who, way back in 2006, he joined the Kingborough Tigers, like many of us, because his son was going along and he thought he'd like to go along and assist. He wasn't the sort of snoozer who stood back. He just sort of went forward and helped with anything he could do. Various roles, getting up to be vice president, serving on the committee. He then was a very strong advocate to try and have a conduit between seniors and juniors. So moreover than that, not only did he work in the junior of the Kingborough Football Club, but then stood on the board of the senior club. He's been a coach. He thought he'd got away with coaching, but I think his daughter now is back there and he assists with that. He assists with Auskick. He does everything for there. I've had the great pleasure to do some coaching with him. He's an absolute quality fella. So Chris, come forward, mate, and accept this award. Chris Donnelly, life member of the STJFL. There, old boy. Thanks, Hobby. Congratulations. Oh, well. Surely a life member doesn't need any prodding from an old silver fox, but... So tell me, you went along with Stewie thinking this is going to be easy, I'll just do a little bit of this and go back, and do you find it was a little bit hard to get out of?
Yeah, look, it's I think there's a lot of people in the room that, you start with your youngest child and you follow them all the way through, then you have another child and you keep going, then you have another child and you keep going. So, and look,
And another child, wasn't it? 4?
Yeah, probably 4. Yeah. And look, it's to the guys that and the men and women that are really involved in the junior footy. It's really about the kids. So and that's what it's all about for me. Kids enjoying themselves. A boy can be a really good player or just an average player, but it's about them having fun, and that's what I really enjoy about junior football, and that's why I've stayed involved for a fair period of time. So,
I know with serving on the board with you, you've been a very big advocate of that, about having fun, and that's what the STJFL is. It's about participation moreover than anything, although tonight we are celebrating the excellence of certain players who can achieve the best, but they wouldn't achieve it unless they had other teammates. And I know at all the meetings you're a big advocate. You do represent the Kingborough Football Club, but you're also one of those board members. You have football foremost for the betterment of the game. So as far as I can say, I'd say congratulations to you.
Thanks, mate.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. The next recipient of life membership of the STJFL, it does say down here, this young man was a very good footballer. Probably could have made it to Melbourne until he did a knee injury, which curtailed his career when he was playing at Glenorchy. From there, he decided to take up the running caper for Glenorchy, and he was the runner when Paul Hudson was out there. He then joined the Sandy Bay Juniors as match manager in 1992 when his sons began, just like many of us, went along to assist. He's still there. This man I have had the great pleasure to coach against. He has always coached with great decorum. He's a fantastic mentor and has been for many years. He's produced or assisted in the drafting of Tom Allwright, Marcus Davies, George Burberry. He's very much one who focuses on the development and a strong team ethos. And it's with great pleasure that I announce that John Barwick is now a life member of the STJFL. Looks like that knee's working though, John. Get it moving, son. I do have about 4 or 5 pages of all the achievements, but I tried to cut that nice and short, but you did a fantastic job, so well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Well done, John. You can't pin that on. It's got a thing. You have to carry it.
Do you want to talk or I just ask?
You can ask.
All right. So for someone like yourself, as I say, you didn't have any children involved in the club once they're up and gone. What was the motivating factor for you to maintain those links with the STJFL?
I saw the enjoyment that young people get out of playing football, and there were a lot of fine young men coming through the club. And at that stage, you may recall that we didn't actually have a pathway. There was no senior club as such. That folded in 1997. So it was really important that we actually developed a really strong junior club. And so the focus was, to really go around all our schools, our primary schools, our high schools, and we went recruiting players from all the schools in the area. And we built up over a period of time a really strong junior club, 300 plus juniors. So the focus was really to make sure that our children, our boys and our girls, had an opportunity to play football. And that was the important thing.
So it has been, for how many years then have you coached the senior team of the Sandy Bay Football Club?
That would be since 2001, so the last 16 years I've been coaching down there.
The last 16 years, I tell you what, you've got life all right, but that's fantastic. And as I say, I've had the great pleasure of coaching, well, we'll say coaching against you. We've had some fantastic games, there's no doubt about that. No matter whatever happened, we always just shook hands. I very much enjoyed coaching against you. You're a bit of a professor of the caper and very much enjoyed that. You were a hard tactician. And I know from talking with the boys, they very much enjoyed how you coached, and a lot of them have gone on to do a lot of good things. Is that some of the rewards, just not so much football? Like even Bain Shepherd, if we can today, who was a nomination for Coach of the Year, played under you.
Yeah, look, that's a wonderful point to make, because the reward I've had is the table that are sitting down there, and you know, when your leadership group people all come along, and I had no idea they were coming tonight, and all of a sudden, you know, the students have become the teachers, and to me that's the best reward of all, to see these young men develop into wanting to progress, you know, with their football or in life. You know, you walk down the street and you bump into a player you may have coached 15 years ago, and they shake your hand and say, "G'day Johnny, it's good to catch up." And I said, "Yes, it is. What are you doing?" You know, so it's a lifetime experience. So it goes on, it goes beyond, absolutely. So I want to thank our players for coming tonight, our club president. You know, we're a pretty close-knit group, like most clubs are. I mean, that's how you get your success, don't you? Success breeds success. Yes.
Well, Johnny, congratulations, and ladies and gentlemen, our new inductee as life member, Johnny Barwick.
Really good.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Jim. So now we'll move on to the under 16A1 and the under 18. And if we can now pass over to, I think we'll go the 16s first, John and David, to continue the count.
Round 1, under 18. Lauderdale versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, B. Ding Duong, if I said that right, Sandy Bay. 2, Elmar, Lauderdale. 3, M. Anderton, Lauderdale. Glenorchy versus Clarence. 1, J. Brenner, Clarence. 2, B. Fuchs, Clarence. 3, S. Hunter, Clarence. Kingborough versus North Hobart. 1, M. Colson, Kingborough. 2, L. Wakefield, North Hobart. 3, J. Roberts, Kingborough. North Launceston versus Launceston. 1 vote, L. Russell, Launceston. 2 votes, B. de Bomford, North Launceston. 3 votes, L. Keeley, North Launceston. Under 16A, Sandy Bay versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, F. Charles, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, G. Halliday, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, R. Miller, Sandy Bay. North Hobart versus Kingborough. 1, J. Clements, North Hobart. 2, Q. Burrows Cheng, Kingborough. 3, C. Page, North Hobart. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, D. Woodham, Clarence. 2 votes, T. Curry, Clarence. 3 votes, B. Hayden, Clarence. That concludes round 1.
Round 2, under 18s. Glenorchy versus Launceston. 1, R. Oakley, Glenorchy. 2, H.G. Launceston. 3, R. Sprayle, Glenorchy. North Hobart versus Lauderdale. 1, B. Walker, North Hobart. 2, C. Best, Lauderdale. 3, J. Gesden, North Hobart. Clarence versus Kingborough. 1, T. Birchall, Clarence. 2, J. Dalco, Kingborough. 3, J. Booth, Clarence. Sandy Bay versus North Launceston. 1, B. Graham, Sandy Bay. 2, S. Reitsma, North Launceston. 3, C. Prasiak, North Launceston. Under 16A. Kingborough versus Sandy Bay. 1, Earl Ailiff, Kingborough. 2, H. Island, Sandy Bay. 3, H. Burrows, Kingborough. North Hobart Blue versus Clarence. 1, J. Cleaver, North Hobart. 2, D. Woodham, Clarence. 3, T. Reynolds, North Hobart. Lauderdale versus Glenorchy. 1 J White, Lauderdale. 2 S Berry, Glenorchy. 3 Z Roberts, Lauderdale. That concludes round 2.
Round 3, under 18. Lauderdale versus North Launceston. 1 vote, J Lenham, North Launceston. 2 votes, H Richmond, Lauderdale. 3 votes, L Mar, Lauderdale. Sandy Bay versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, M O, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, R Sproul, Glenorchy. 3 votes, T Gogolan, Sandy Bay. Launceston versus Kingborough. 1 vote, M Colson, Kingborough. 2 votes, J Roberts, Kingborough. 3 votes, J Fife, Kingborough. Clarence versus North Hobart. 1 vote, B Fuchs, Clarence. 2 votes, C Lovell, Clarence. 3 votes, J Holmes, Clarence. Under 16A, Clarence versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, C Coles, Clarence. 2 votes, T Curry, Clarence. 3 votes, B Hayden, Clarence. North Hobart Blue versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, T Clark, North Hobart. 2 votes, H Lovelace, North Hobart. 3 votes, B Williams, North Hobart. Kingborough versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, C Bakes, Kingborough. 2 votes, M Cook, Kingborough. 3 votes, L Ailiff, Kingborough. That concludes round 3.
Round 4, under 18s. Lauderdale versus Launceston. 1 J Boyd, Launceston. 2 B Couch, Launceston. 3 C Best, Lauderdale. North Launceston versus North Hobart. 1 C Anderson, North Launceston. 2 R Mansell, North Launceston. 3 K Wadley, North Launceston. Sandy Bay versus Clarence. 1 T Birchall, Clarence. 2 J Holmes, Clarence. 3 J Booth, Clarence. Buys for Glenorchy and Kingborough. Under 16s, Lauderdale versus Sandy Bay. 1 H Island, Sandy Bay. 2 Z Roberts, Lauderdale. 3 E Steele, Lauderdale. North Hobart Blue versus Glenorchy. 1 M Paolini, North Hobart Blue. 2 Z Doyle, North Hobart Blue. 3 A Hollingsworth, North Hobart Blue. Kingborough versus Clarence. 1 B Hayden, Clarence. 2 O Burrows Ching, Kingborough. 3 L Ailiff, Kingborough. That concludes round 4.
Right, we now move to round 5, under 18s. Lauderdale versus Kingborough. 1 vote, J Bones, Kingborough. 2 votes, L Mar, Lauderdale. 3 votes, H Richmond, Lauderdale. North Hobart versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, J Millhouse, Glenorchy. 2 votes, B Brownless, North Hobart. 3 votes, R Bosworth, North Hobart. Sandy Bay versus Launceston. 1 vote, W Clerk, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, H G Launceston. 3 votes, B Den Duang, Sandy Bay. Clarence versus North Launceston. 1 vote, D Clayton, North Launceston. 2 votes, T Birchall, Clarence. 3 votes, Historic, Clarence. Move to under 16s. North Hobart Blue versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, T Reynolds, North Hobart. 2 votes, A Hollingsworth, North Hobart. 3 votes, T Barrett, North Hobart. Clarence versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, J Adams, Clarence. 2 votes, J Gregory, Clarence. 3 votes, H Burgess, Clarence. Kingborough versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, B Alley, Lauderdale. 2 votes, W Pollard, Kingborough. 3 votes, L Ailiff, Kingborough. Concludes round 5.
Round 6, under 18s. Glenorchy versus Launceston. 1 J Morgan Glenorchy, 2 J Barrett Launceston, 3 C Allen Glenorchy. Sandy Bay versus North Hobart. 1 L Wakefield North Hobart, 2 J Barrett North Hobart, 3 B Denwang Sandy Bay. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 T Birchall Clarence, 2 T Hapka Clarence, 3 J Booth Clarence. Kingborough versus North Launceston. 1 K Wadley North Launceston, 2 J Fife Kingborough, 3 J Godomsky Kingborough. Under 16As. North Hobart Red versus Sandy Bay. 1 J Clifford North Hobart, 2 H Island Sandy Bay, 3 W Pevin North Hobart. North Hobart Blue versus Kingborough. 1 Z Doyle North Hobart, 2 B Williams North Hobart, 3 L Aleph Kingborough. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 A Jackman Clarence, 2 C Coles Clarence, 3 L Drury Clarence. And that concludes round 6.
Round 7, under 18s. Kingborough versus Launceston. 1 vote, J Appleby, Kingborough. 2 votes, J Dowco, Kingborough. 3 votes, J Fife, Kingborough. North Launceston versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, R Sproul, Glenorchy. 2 votes, J Lanham, North Launceston. 3 votes, K Wadley, North Launceston. Lauderdale, Clarence, North Hobart and Sandy Bay had to bye. Under 16A, Kingborough versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, L Aleph, Kingborough. 2 votes, R Miller, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, M Cook, Kingborough. Clarence versus North Hobart Blue. 1 vote, D Woodham, Clarence. 2 votes, B Williams, North Hobart. 3 votes, L Swinton, Clarence. North Hobart Red versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, H Wiggins, Lauderdale. 2 votes, I Manson, North Hobart. 3 votes, B Nelson, North Hobart. Concludes round 7.
Round 8, under 18, Sandy Bay versus Kingborough. 1 J Fife Kingborough, 2 R Walker Kingborough, 3 B Glancy Kingborough. North Hobart versus Clarence. 1 T Westbury Clarence, 2 B Sinnott Clarence, 3 J Booth Clarence. Lauderdale versus Glenorchy. 1 H Ransley Glenorchy, 2 C Hooker Lauderdale, 3 L Marr Lauderdale. The bye for North Launceston and Launceston. Under 16A, Lauderdale versus Sandy Bay. 1 S Field Sandy Bay, 2 W Gurgle Lauderdale, 3 W Francis Lauderdale. North Hobart Blue versus North Hobart Red. 1 S Major North Hobart Red, 2 T Clark North Hobart Blue, 3 H Lovelace North Hobart Blue. Clarence versus Kingborough. 1 L Swinton Clarence, 2 O Burrows Cheng Kingborough, 3 J Coleraine Clarence. That concludes round 8.
Round 9, under 18. Lauderdale versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, J Bunyan, Lauderdale. 2 votes, B Alley, Lauderdale. 3 votes, R Hooker, Lauderdale. Kingborough versus North Hobart. 1 vote, J Keogh, Kingborough. 2 votes, J Fife, Kingborough. 3 votes, J Dowco, Kingborough. Launceston versus North Launceston. 1 vote, A Dickinson, Launceston. 2 votes, C Anderson, North Launceston. 3 votes, H.G. Launceston. Clarence versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, R Sproul, Glenorchy. 2 votes, A Brisnahan, Clarence. 3 votes, C Lovell, Clarence. Under 16A, Clarence versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, L. O'Prey, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, T. Buck, Clarence. 3 votes, A. Jackman, Clarence. North Hobart Blue versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, B. Alley, Lauderdale. 2 votes, Z. Doran, North Hobart. 3 votes, J. Cleaver, North Hobart. Kingborough versus North Hobart Red. 1 vote, S. Becker, North Hobart. 2 votes, M. Lister, Kingborough. And 3 votes, Z. Adams, Kingborough. And that concludes round 9.
Round 10, under 18s, North Hobart versus Clarence. 1, Z. Lewin, Clarence. 2, W. Press, Clarence. 3, S. Hunter, Clarence. Glenorchy versus Kingborough. 1, J. Appleby, Kingborough. 2, B. Penny, Kingborough. 3, J. Fife, Kingborough. North Launceston versus Lauderdale. 1, D. Denny, Lauderdale. 2, C. Loomses, Lauderdale. 3, L. Mayer, Lauderdale. Launceston versus Sandy Bay. 1, B. Graham, Sandy Bay. 2, B. Sullivan, Launceston. 3, C. Curtis, Launceston. Under 16A, Sandy Bay versus North Hobart Blue. 1, B. Williams, North Hobart. 2, J. Cleaver, North Hobart. 3, J. Pivus, Sandy Bay. Clarence versus North Hobart Red. 1, T. Steele, Clarence. 2, B. Lewis, North Hobart. 3, L. Swinton, Clarence. Kingborough versus Lauderdale. 1, E. Goward, Lauderdale. 2, W. Poland, Kingborough. 3, L. Aliff, Kingborough. And that concludes round 10.
Right, we now move to round 11, under 18. Clarence versus North Launceston. 1 vote, B. Sinnott, Clarence. 2 votes, C. Berry, Clarence. 3 votes, T. Birchall, Clarence. Lauderdale versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, A. Roberts, Glenorchy. 2 votes, M. Bowerman, Glenorchy. 3 votes, R. Sproul, Glenorchy. Kingborough versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, J. Fife, Kingborough. 2 votes, R. Blackers, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, J. Dowco, Kingborough. Launceston versus North Hobart. 1 vote, A. Beswick, North Hobart. 2 votes, T. Bott, Launceston. 3 votes, J. Barrett, Launceston. Under 16As, North Hobart Red versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, M. O'Neill, North Hobart. 2 votes, R. Miller, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, J. Barwick, North Hobart. North Hobart Blue versus Kingborough. 1 vote, H. Burrows, Kingborough. 2 votes, T. Barrett, North Hobart. 3 votes, T. Reynolds, North Hobart. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 vote, T. Curry, Clarence. 2 votes, B. Hayden, Clarence. 3 votes, L. Swinton, Clarence. And that concludes round 11.
Round 12, under 18s. Lauderdale versus North Hobart. 1 vote, A. Beswick, North Hobart. 2 votes, H. Richmond, Lauderdale. 3 votes, C. Loomses, Lauderdale. Launceston versus Glenorchy. 1 vote, S. Deverell, Glenorchy. 2 votes, R. Oakley, Glenorchy. 3 votes, S. Berry, Glenorchy. Sandy Bay versus North Launceston. 1 vote, S. Reitsma, North Launceston. 2 votes, M. Donnelly, Sandy Bay. 3 votes, H. Graham, Sandy Bay. Clarence versus Kingborough. 1 vote, J. Fife, Kingborough. 2 votes, W. Press, Clarence. 3 votes, T. Birchall, Clarence. Under 16A, Kingborough versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote, H. Luders, Sandy Bay. 2 votes, Z. Adams, Kingborough. 3 votes H. Burrows, Kingborough. Clarence versus North Hobart Blue. 1 vote T. Buck, Clarence. 2 votes D. Woodham, Clarence. 3 votes L. Drury, Clarence. Lauderdale versus North Hobart Red. 1 vote S. Foster, Lauderdale. 2 votes B. Kingston, Lauderdale. 3 votes N. Lennox, Lauderdale. And that concludes round 12.
Round 13, under 18s. Lauderdale versus Launceston. 1 vote C. Walter Russell, Launceston. 2 votes K. Tatnall, Lauderdale. 3 votes N. Absalom, Lauderdale. North Hobart versus North Launceston. 1 vote T. Wilmot, North Hobart. 2 votes S. Reed Seamer, North Launceston. 3 votes A. Beswick, North Hobart. Kingborough versus Glenorchy. 1 vote J. Kane, Kingborough. 2 votes M. Colson, Kingborough. 3 votes J. Bones, Kingborough. And Clarence defeated Sandy Bay on forfeit. Under 16A, Clarence versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote B. Hayden, Clarence. 2 votes T. Curry, Clarence. 3 votes T. Buck, Clarence. Kingborough versus North Hobart Red. 1 vote C. Oakes, Kingborough. 2 votes L. Ailiff, Kingborough. 3 votes H. Burrows, Kingborough. North Hobart Blue versus Lauderdale. 1 vote J. Cleaver, North Hobart. 2 votes H. Wiggins, Lauderdale. 3 votes T. Clark, North Hobart. Concludes round 13.
Round 14, under 18s, North Launceston versus Clarence. 1 vote S. Hunter, Clarence. 2 votes J. Mazengarb, Clarence. 3 votes A. Bresnahan, Clarence. Glenorchy versus North Hobart. 1 vote L. Henderson, Glenorchy. 2 votes T. Wilmot, North Hobart. 3 votes R. Sproul, Glenorchy. Kingborough versus Lauderdale. 1 vote J. Appleby, Kingborough. 2 votes O. Burrows Ching, Kingborough. 3 votes J. Keogh, Kingborough. Launceston defeated Sandy Bay on a forfeit. The under 16A round was completely washed out, and that concluded round 14.
Round 15, under 18s. Glenorchy versus Lauderdale. 1 vote S. Broomhall, Lauderdale. 2 votes P. Vout, Glenorchy. 3 votes C. Goodsell, Glenorchy. North Hobart versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote R. Whitty, Sandy Bay. 2 votes S. Frost, North Hobart. 3 votes L. Plummer, North Hobart. North Launceston versus Launceston. 1 vote T. Bott, Launceston. 2 votes R. Mansell, North Launceston. 3 votes M. Cousins, North Launceston. Kingborough and Clarence had a bye. Move to the under 16s. North Hobart Blue versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote B. Williams, North Hobart. 2 votes Z. Doran, North Hobart. 3 votes J. Cleaver, North Hobart. Clarence versus North Hobart Red. 1 vote F. Cashin, Clarence. 2 votes T. Curry, Clarence. 3 votes H. Burgess, Clarence. Kingborough versus Lauderdale. 1 vote H. Wiggins, Lauderdale. 2 votes C. Oakes, Kingborough. 3 votes L. Ailiff, Kingborough. Concludes round 15.
Round 16 for under 16A, 1 to 2016, the final round. Sandy Bay versus North Hobart Red. 1 vote J. Pybus, Sandy Bay. 2 votes W. Cottier, Sandy Bay. 3 votes F. Charles, Sandy Bay. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 vote T. Steele, Clarence. 2 votes W. Gurgle, Lauderdale. 3 votes L. Drury, Clarence. North Hobart Blue versus Kingborough. 1 vote C. Bakes, Kingborough. 2 votes L. Edwards, Kingborough. 3 votes D. Gamble, North Hobart Blue. And that concludes round 16 and the final round for the under 16As.
Congratulations. So, ladies and gentlemen, our best and fairest is Lachlan Ailiff from the Kingborough Tigers Junior Football Club. And runners-up, we have Josh Cleaver from North Hobart, Harry Burrows from Kingborough Tigers, Luke Swinton from Clarence, and Brady Hayden from Clarence. And if I can also please ask Ryan Sproul to come forward to make these presentations, please. Thank you.
Brady Hayden from Clarence. Brady?
Yeah, there you guys.
Here we go. Well done, Lockie. Congratulations. Thanks. Boys, congratulations to you. If you guys want to come back here, that's fantastic. Our second place getters. We'll just move that around there. Get to a best and fairest count and gets a little bit tense at the end. So tell me this, champ, just between you and I. At what stage did you think the old kids got this in the pocket?
The washout round, probably.
The washout round. I've commentated on a couple of your games. You're a pretty hard sort of player. I don't think you know how to dodge. You only go straight ahead. You play some really hard, tough footy. I think you guys finished, about third this year? Is that correct?
Yeah, third on the ladder.
So how are we going to go this year in the finals?
Well, we lost our first finals game to Clarence, but we got Lauderdale this week and it should be a good game.
So we saw on here how dominant you were in the leagues. What is it that you would like to do with your footy?
Play TSL for Tigers would be a big goal, but just go as far as I can, really. Footy.
It's fantastic. I think you can go a long way with what we've seen. All I can say to you is congratulations on a great season. All the best for the finals. And for all our runners-up, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for Lachlan Ailiff and our runners-up. So, boys, if you can get your photos taken with the 1996 Cup. So as the boys get their photos, we'll then move into the last couple of rounds there for the under-18s. And as we saw a few minutes ago, that is a very, very, very close contest. Earn your money's worth on that one, Sally.
Continuing, round 16 of the under-18s for 2016. Glenorchy versus North Launceston. 1, D. Clayton, North Launceston. 2, S. Berry, Glenorchy. 3, S. Deverell, Glenorchy. Kingborough versus Launceston. 1 vote T. Bott, Launceston. 2 votes J. Kane, Kingborough. 3 votes J. Dalco, Kingborough. Clarence versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote T. Hapka, Clarence. 2 votes J Booth, Clarence. 3 votes S Hunter, Clarence. Lauderdale and North Hobart head the bye.
Round 17, under 18s. Kingborough versus Lauderdale. 1 vote C Best, Lauderdale. 2 votes J Keogh, Kingborough. 3 votes M Powell, Kingborough. North Hobart versus North Launceston. 1 vote T Wilmot, North Hobart. 2 votes C Anderson, North Launceston. 3 votes C Woodwood, North Hobart. Clarence defeated Launceston on forfeit, and Sandy Bay and Glenorchy had to bye. And that concludes round 17.
Round 18. North Hobart versus Lauderdale. 1 J Kirkwood, North Hobart. 2 T Wilmot, North Hobart. 3 S Froz, North Hobart. Clarence versus Glenorchy. 1 vote T Birchall, Clarence. 2 votes W Press, Clarence. 3 votes S Hunter, Clarence. Kingborough versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote H Graham, Sandy Bay. 2 votes J Fife, Kingborough. 3 votes M Powell, Kingborough. North Launceston and Launceston had the bye.
Right, we move to round 19, final round. Launceston versus North Launceston. 1 vote J Gillow, Launceston. 2 votes D Clayton, North Launceston. 3 votes C Walker Russell, Launceston. Glenorchy versus Sandy Bay. 1 vote F Rose, Glenorchy. 2 votes H Graham, Sandy Bay. 3 votes C Salter, Glenorchy. Clarence versus Lauderdale. 1 vote L Marr, Lauderdale. 2 votes T Birchall, Clarence. 3 votes W Press, Clarence. The final game, Kingborough versus North Hobart. 1 vote L Plummer, North Hobart. 2 votes J Fife, Kingborough. And 3 votes J Appleby, Kingborough.
Ladies and gentlemen, in our last award for the evening, it is the best and fairest goes to James Fife from the Kingborough Tigers Junior Football Club, with runners-up Liam Marr from the Lauderdale Football Club, Jamie Booth from the Clarence Football Club, and Thomas Birchall from the Clarence Football Club. If those guys can come forward, and I can also ask Jackson Hills from AFL Tasmania to come forward and present those awards, please. Oh, he's not?
Thomas.
Congratulations, Thomas Birchall from the Clarence Football Club. Jamie Booth from the Clarence Football Club. Liam Marr from the Lauderdale Football Club. And a representative, I'm sorry I don't know your name, young man, but the winner is James Fife from the Kingborough Tigers. We'll do a bit of a roving interview on that one, I would have thought. So we've got a very, very exciting final series, fellas. So I'll go to the Clarence contingent here. You had a pretty good season, I think, finishing on top. What are our expectations for the final series?
Oh, obviously win, but got high expectations now. Haven't lost a game, so just hope we can take it all the way.
It's only recently that we've sort of gone forward to the under-18 competition. It gives boys a lot more opportunity for participation. How have you enjoyed the under-18 competition this year?
Yeah, it's been good competition, yeah. It's good fun and good bunch of blokes as well, so yeah.
So, Liam, for you, you've had a bit of a taste of higher stuff. What are your prospects going forward? Do you want to take your football further and go on to the TSL?
Yeah, I definitely want to be competing at the highest level possible. I suppose just see what next year brings, really.
Fantastic. I'm sorry, this young man, Joey, come over, son. You've represented the winners, so that's fantastic, and for the Kingborough Tigers. We've also said like the Kingborough Tigers are sort of the sleeping giant within the TSL, and we can see now that with 2 victories just in the last with the under-16s and 18s, they must be a bright future and a lot of good things happening down at the Tigers.
Yeah, for sure. We've got some real good players coming up, so yeah, real bright future, and yeah, should be good.
Fantastic. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, can we please thank our winners in the under-18 STJFL Beakley Awards for 2016. Guys, go over and get those photos, please. Yeah, jump in there, Fifey. So, ladies and gentlemen, as those photos are being taken and we come to the end of our presentation, I'd firstly like to thank John and David for their announcements. A big round of applause for our announcers. Thank you very much. The presentation that you've seen is very, very professional, and that all comes about from the skills of the wily old one over there in Mick Arnold. Congratulations to you, Mick. Well done, and a great package you've put together yet again. It was interesting, when I turned up, I just sort of rock up and stand in front of you and don't do anything to help out. Unlike this man over here, Tony Gibson, as soon as I turned up, all I heard was his phone ringing. He's running the competition. He's getting this thing organised. To you, Gibbo, very, very warm congratulations. Tony Gibson, thank you very, very much. Our very, very dear friends and partners at Cripps the Master Baker, baking bread here in Tasmania since 1878, a very, very fine product. Although Paul couldn't be with us, the Deputy Chairman of that fine organisation, Jim Horn, is here, and the President. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We thank very much you for your attendance. We thank everyone out there. We hope you've enjoyed the live coverage courtesy of Duff TV. Please drive safely and enjoy the rest of the weekend in their footy. Thank you very, very much from the STJFL.